For this one, we're gonna do, and I might have to cut some of these short, but I want these to last 1 minute. If you do not finish the entire contour in 1 minute, you did great. Not great, amazing. So for this exercise, the slower you go, the better. So even if you just get from the head to the shoulder, that is going to be one amazing line. And the key word for today is going to be that. We're going to be developing a little bit of the quality of our line. So let's get started. I'm going to start the clock. I set my pencil down. And now it is all about observation. So I want to make sure I have a nice grip. And so I can kind of really just begin to, in a way, what you want to feel like is eventually as the tip of the pencil right on the edge of your subject. So you could really not just follow like a cutout silhouette, but the actual rounding and curving of the shapes that you are seeing. Now I know I'm talking and I might be going a little faster than I should have, but these are all, remember, 1 minute. And if you just get one line down, I'm trying to keep an eye on the clock as well, so that's kind of breaking my focus here, but that's it. So notice that I just got, and I was going way too fast. So if you only got only from here to here, that's why you can fit lots of these on one page. Now you might want to also switch. If I'm always going top to bottom, from left to right, I might want to switch going from top to bottom, right to left, or from the bottom. So testing different areas to start off. And this is what they're all going to look like, or less than this, okay? So let's go to number 2. And we are going to do 10 of these. Restart the clock and go. Placing my pencil once again, and I'm going to do the opposite way. So one of the best tips I can give you is that you really have to, the word is connect. Connect with the subject. And in a way, you are going for a walk. Your pencil should be like it's tracing the contour, and you can actually observe every single shift in the direction of the line, in the contouring of the line, in the curvature of the folds of the skin, of the loose elements. We're not at all worried about proportions here. We're beginning to focus more and more on the quality of our line and the pace. So going really, really slow, and time. So notice I slowed down my line a little bit, and now I'm beginning to have all these beautiful little wrapping curvings that begin to define more and more what we were saying we shouldn't do earlier, which was a little straighter and more foundational or simplified. This one should be a little simpler and more, I see a couple more straight lines. And I'm going to overlap it, so I'm just going to move over here and start the clock. Let me start at the bottom. So I'm going to start this one here at the bottom, and I have a nice negative space shape right here. And I can follow some of these lines, which are not necessarily straight, but they're a little simpler. They have more angle. Once I reach areas where I have some texture, for example, hair, usually you have to figure out a way how you like to break it down, to simplify it. And I went around really, really fast, it feels like. And once I get here, I'm just going to continue 10 more seconds. I'm going to continue into the body and just end it there. Perfect. I'm going to keep it going. Now, this is kind of like a fashion show at the same time. Starting the clock right over here. Just hoping there's going to be enough room for it to fit. not getting too lost in the shape of the hair, but more so on some of the, the textures of the line. So if I'm going from hair to coat to leather boot, I want to have a little bit of line quality. So it might get softer or sharper or thinner or lighter. All these things that define line quality begin to come into play. But it is your eyes. Hopefully, I just realized I'm not even blinking. It's okay to blink as long as you don't lose your place. And your place, that's going to be the key, where you really feel like, and time. Here we are. Reset the clock and start it. The idea is for you to find yourself saying, ooh, that felt good. What was it? How did I really sync with this subject? Because it felt really, and oh my gosh, look at these lines. How did that happen? You need to be aware of how you make that happen. And remember, I keep saying it, the face, vase. When you think you're drawing, in this case, an extremity, I actually like to flip the switch and go into space and recognize it takes a little bit of effort. You're kind of fighting a battle between your right left brain, but that battle is simple. You can close one eye and you simplify and flatten your shapes. And there we are. And time. And for the most part, it begins to have a feeling of, oh wow. It even has a little bit of the action or the motion of it. Here we are, resetting the clock and going to number, I think it's 6 or 7. Here we are, starting the clock. I'm going to choose to start this one right here at this triangular negative, which is the space between the knees and down through the leg here. If you haven't tried it, try closing one eye. You immediately come monocular, not binocular. And because it is a flat image, it should be easier to really identify that negative space and all the subtle edges. Now, sometimes because of the value, the darkness, the shadows, the color, you may lose a little bit of what that edge is supposed to be. Well, you just make an artistic decision. I'm also rotating my pencil as I draw the line. So I'm dragging and rotating to give a little extra quality of line in different areas. And time. Moving over, resetting. Hopefully I give you enough time to stay on the same page and move along to the next one. Now this one's interesting. We have an element here that, let me go ahead and do it down here. And I'm just going to start with these. Nice, interesting angles. And here your brain, your left brain might say, I know what this is. I know what it's supposed to look like. Let me just take over. Actually, just stay focused on the actual line curvature angles. And at some point, you are going to just be really in sync. Oops, ran out of paper here. So just move it over and continue it, even if it overlaps. I did this too short, too close here. And I am beginning to move a little bit faster as I'm having a feeling of getting a better sense. There we are. Now I'm going to try to make my next one a little bit bigger. And that would be this one. Okay. Here we are, starting the clock. Now this, again, without really trying to rush. And when I mean rush my hand, I want to have my eye really doing a great job of observing, analyzing, reading the angles, the negative space, but you could find yourself looking a little bit faster, identifying what is that ideal pace that lets you deliver that little bit of quality of line that we're looking for. I'm going to go into the figure here with 12 seconds left. And all of a sudden, you just literally free your lines and time. So it's just having this, oh, wow. Only you will recognize what was going on in terms of how it looked, how it felt. And even though this looks like, what are you doing? That's exactly what I was hoping for. Let's do one or two more. I might skip just to save a little extra time for the other ones. Going right back over here, and I'm just going to overlap it right here. And do the same. Let's see. Let me start once again. I'm going to start at the bottom, right, and work my way upwards. And immediately I feel a sense of, okay, I'm going kind of into the grain. It's not how I always do it. So let's see what else is new. I still see it. Pretty, once you begin to see the negative space and you kind of warmed up to it, it really becomes a matter of staying focused on what it is that you're supposed to be looking for and interpreting, translating it into those nice, beautiful lines in time.